Welcome back, dudes and dudettes, to Sink the Bismarck with me, Wolf 190D. And for the YouTubers out there anyway, nobody's on right now, but for the YouTubers out there anyway, I think I'm long enough into this campaign to get enough people that are checking in regularly. Please be sure to mash the little thumbs up button, subscribe, follow if you will. Every little bit, pray, please, pray, all praise the algorithm gods. Keeps this going. I am trying to build this. So, anyway, let's get on with today's show. Where did we leave off last time? The war with France ended. Uh, Good grief. Yeah, actually, I had a little mistake once again uploading. So, for those of you on YouTube, there might be a little gap in what you remember because there again, still getting used to transferring this to a more permanent video to switch over to YouTube. So, mistakes were made. We'll leave it at that. Try not to let it happen continuously. So anyway, we're at an interwar period. We're refitting some of our ships. We're redesigning some of our ships. The Zoxans got an upgrade. The Kaiser Wilhelms are getting an upgrade. And actually, where are my ships at with their upgrade status, their refits? Their refits, one more turn on the Kaiser Wilhelms. And I don't know what I want to do with the Wittelsbachs yet. Though, our research is progressing. And what was I focusing in on last time? The turret mechanisms. Yes, the secondary double secondaries for my capital ships. So I might try to build a battleship that takes advantage of some of those doubles, those dual turrets when I get those done. All right. Well, we got advanced small funnels number 2 coming in with our boilers. And we've also got Mark II 6-inch guns. So I don't know what I want to do with those, all of that yet. We did recently get the Battleship 2 hull. I don't know that I'm going to build those. To me, it's really weird how this works. You get Battleship 1, and then you get Battleship 3, and then it goes back to Battleship 2, which is basically like an upgraded version of Battleship 1. I don't know. We'll see how that comes out. All right. So anyway, our political situation. And I like to use these interwar periods because it's less hectic. Focus in on the politics. So what do I want to do? I might try to do a dual thing here. I might try to provoke Britain into a war, while at the same time improving relations with Japan. Though that might not be the best of ideas because Britain's on really good terms with the Japanese. So maybe. What do we do? You know what we could do? We could pick on Spain, but I don't really want to do that either. You know, it might not be a bad time to harass the British. Send the old fleet, the old Wittelsbach ships over into Japanese waters. We could do that. I might need to split the fleets though. I might want to do 3 and 2. We'll have to see. Well, let's get this turret mechanisms done first. We'll research the new battleships. Or we'll design some new battleships, and maybe an updated cruiser design. Speaking of updated cruisers, I should have 2 of the new ones done. The Cormoran, there it is, the Princess Wilhelm, and I've also got another one of the Princess Wilhelms. I think, where did we put the other Princess Wilhelm class cruiser? In Emden, in Kiel, and in Hamburg. Okay, so we've got it in Emden. and that's with the Zaxons. We've got Hamburg, and we've got one in Kiel. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer the cormorants. Let's transfer the cormorants somewhere else. We'll send them to Douala for now. Let's do that. So they're in Emden. They're in Hamburg. The Blücher. And I think Le Havre also has one of the old cormorants. So this is just something I like to do. Because, I mean, the ships aren't obsolete. They're just not as good. So let's move the Dessau to Le Havre. Okay. July, August, September, October, November, December. I can do a quick. Oh no, we've already got a build going on. Max shipyard size is going to go up to 23,000 tons, just a little over 23,000 tons. There. All right. So, anyway, hello and welcome. I'm just checking to see how many viewers we have today. Hello and welcome. How's it going today? Don't know who my viewer is, but I wave. All right. Anyway. Maintenance and upkeep things have been taken care of for now. The British are scrapping ships. I don't know if I should be worried about that or not. The French have laid down a bunch of ships. So here's the question. And this is always it's always the strategic point. Enable secondary double turrets for battleships, battle cruisers, and heavy cruisers. Okay, so we get double barrels for secondary guns now, which means we might be able to take advantage of this on a new heavy cruiser build. Do I want to do that though? Let's take it off of the turret mechanisms. The small guns, do I want to keep developing those? Maybe 6-inch guns. I think 6-inch guns are 152. The 5.9-inch guns are 150. 6-inch guns would be 152 millimeter. Same size of gun that was on the Hummels. Okay, we've got new advanced small funnels number 2 coming in. Do I want to push hull strengthening some more? That might get us into pushing us in closer towards the dreadnought hulls. I do like to try to get those early. Geez, you know you forget everything. The torpedo cruiser became obsolete. We got a light cruiser number 2. When do we get the upgraded? Let's see here. I would like to try to get a battleship with 12-inch guns. We got nickel steel armor now, which is really nice. We got the control state capital ship towers number 1 coming in. Torpedo tubes, we got Mark II. We don't have dual tubes yet, but that's okay, because I really liked that destroyer build with the dual singles. They reload very fast. Which I might even upgrade those with expanded ammo capacity. Right now they have enough for two passes, but it's 4 torpedoes, and it's less chance that the torpedoes will explode. So we'll have to see how all of that plays out. We just got multiple expansion steam engines. Now my finances. Here's the other thing. My finances right now. I've got enough of a cushion. I have plenty enough of a cushion. I could build one and refit one, and then wait the 3 months for the refit, and then build another one, and then refit another one. That way they come in staggered. I'll have to build a new. I'll have to build another heavy cruiser. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and build another one of these Princessville. Actually, Well, now that poses a certain. Let me see here. You know what? Let's move the Dessau. We'll move the Dessau back to Hamburg. Okay. And which of the cormorants? These guys are regulars. You know what? We'll move you to Le Havre. Okay. Yeah, the Blucher is at Cadets, and the Cormoran is at Green. So we'll move those guys down to Douala. Okay, that gives me a little bit more firepower in West Africa. Okay. So what do I want to do for research? We are currently at 6,000 ton heavy cruisers. There's a better light cruiser hull that comes up at some point. 4,000 ton light cruiser. I'm going to go ahead and set on hull strengthening. And let's go ahead and get a new battleship design. Now, what was my last one at? What's the design limit on this ship? This gives us this will give us 3. I'm going to want to push these guys a little bit, I think. So crew quarters standard, bulkheads standard. Let's check what we have for secondary guns. Do I want to put 4s, or do I put 4-inch? No, 4-inch singles are going to be that. 3-inch singles are going to be those. Okay, so do I want to go with 105s? It's going to be a downsize. Or do I want to go with the 5-inch twins? Well, right now I can fit 5-inch twins. How many is the question? And we're going to go with 12-inch barrels. So let's go ahead and plop one there, plop one there. What do I want to do? I want to go 5 inches over on the beam, or 5% over on the beam. These guys are going to be a little fatter, but that's okay. All right. The draft, let's also put a 5% over on the draft, and we'll limit these guys to not 170,000, 17,000 tons. Let's put them on that. Okay. Now, if I do 5-inch guns, those are 128 millimeters. So let's see what we get with 5 twins versus 4 twins. Okay, and the 5-inch guns, we'll leave them at 5. The 4s we're going to go over just a little bit. Now that's going to bump the 5s. The 5s are at 9.6 to 10, and the 4s are at 11 to 12, and that's probably because the 4s are Mark IIs. So I'll tell you what, for now, let's go with the 4-inch. We'll do 105s. That'll give us 6. It'll give us 605 millimeter guns. Okay. And on the casements, here's what we can do. We can put the 150s on the casements. Or do I want to go to the 6-inch guns? Should I go 152s on the casements? Now again, this is part of what we get into with this. Because these are about to be it's 10 to 11 on that, and it's 10 to 11 on that. Now if I go to, let me see here. If I go to 150 millimeter, that's 11 to 12. And what's the weight difference? The weight is 107 versus 84. And the 6s are about to be, that's 2, almost 2. Yeah, the 6s are about to be Mark IIs as well. Let's put 150 millimeters on the casements. Okay, main tower. Do I want to go ahead and shell out for the big tower? This is going to be quite a jump. What's the difference? It's about 300,000 difference in price. Is it worth it? 6 aiming speed, 5 base accuracy. Yeah, it's really kind of not worth it actually. So let's go with tower 2. We'll go with the big rear tower. Okay, and then 3-inch guns. Let me see here. And these are going to be 88s. Those are fine right there. Now, how far back can I put this before it becomes problematic? Right into the front. That gives me a forward weight of 48. That turret is all the way back. Okay. I think our armament might be pretty effective like that. So we got twin 105 millimeters. We got 152 millimeters set in casements. Yes, funnels. First things first, though. Let's go with 18 knot speed for now. Let's go with the expansion steam engine. Or multiple expansion, rather. We'll go with hydraulic cylinders. Now, if I go with induced draft boilers versus natural boilers, let's see. Maintenance, what's the maintenance? It's 293 with the natural boilers. Ooh. Maintenance goes way up on that. The price, another $3 million a ship. Now, okay, so it's 48. Now, if I go with the standard funnel, standard number 1. Now, I could get cute here. Or do I just want to go with the big funnels? 3 big funnels. And let's see, that's the okay, goes down to 293. Still only 68% efficient. Steel armor to number 2. Go ahead and slap anti-torpedo on there for now. Single bottom with reinforced bulkheads and a citadel. Okay. Armor, 12 inches and 6 inches. The main deck still only needs to be about an inch. Conning tower, however, we'll put the conning tower at 15 inches and the superstructure at an inch. Citadel, put a half-inch inner deck. Put 16 inches there. We'll put 2 inches on the top. And a maxed out barbette. The barbettes are very, very important, I've found, because it's what protects your magazines. So this just prevents shots from penetrating into your magazine. The 4.1 inch guns. Let me see here. Two inches on the top is heavy enough for these, because most of your shots still at the era that we're in, 2 inches is probably actually overkill. Okay, so we got some single 88s. Unless, do we want to do dual 88s? What's the difference? It's 11 to 12. They're funny enough. They're both 11 to 12. We'll leave the single 88s for now. And we've got how many of those? We've got 10 of those. So 382,000 a month if I go up to the induced draft boilers. What does that get us? Oh God. Let's stick with the natural boilers for now. Those auctions were 12,500 tons, so this is quite a jump. This is very much a jump. 17 knots. The speed's not very good though, is the thing. So maybe let me see here. We got plenty of space to give. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna try this. Let's go standard funnels. And we're gonna bump these guys to 20 knots. It's not too much more than it was actually, but the problem is now is the ship is overweight. So let's go drop it down to 19 knots. Which is going to bring up some interesting issues because 19 knots is what the Princess Wilhelm ships are capable of pulling. And nymphs still go 22 knots, so they're still outdistancing our battleships by quite a bit, which is fine. That's what we want. $11, $12, 9.8 to 11. Yeah, but it's twice as much firepower. Actually, if you take into account everything else, and there's the beam and everything else. Where's the weapons? Weapons. Ah, there we go. 9.8 to 11. 13 to 14 on those. That's actually really nice. It's 9.4 to 10 on the 6-inch guns. But they're Mark 1s for now, so that's okay. And then 9.4 to 10 and about one round every 2 minutes. Or one salvo every 2 minutes. Which is not ideal. Oh, that does remind me. We gotta do all of this. White powder. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take off the anti-torp. Jesus, I almost did that. Okay, now can I jimmy the armor a little bit? We can get it within acceptable parameters for now. These early hulls are really difficult. They kind of suck. I'm trying to balance. Yeah, fiddling with the main deck's only going to make it worse. So we'll do a 1/2 inch over on the rear armor settings. Which actually, if you stop and consider it, the front is what's designed to repel shots. So over armoring on the rear a little bit, especially if you're trying to withdraw, it's actually quite effective. So anyway, standard ammo shells, white powder with gun cotton. Max HE on the second, standard ratio on the main shells, and because we've upsized to 12-inch guns, I decided to go ahead and just use standard shell size as opposed to heavier ones. Now what I could do is I could go to lights. Let's see here. At 5,000 meters, we're punching 17.5 inches of armor. Could I get away actually with light shells? Make them 10 to 11. Let's see here. That's 17.5. Light shells at 7,500 meters goes down to 15.4. It's increased accuracy. It's less reload time. Reduced cost, which is actually really nice. It's less penetration. It's less damage. It's less HE shell damage and fire chance, but I think it also cuts down on our maintenance a little bit, maybe? Let's see here. Yes, it does, because it's approaching 500,000 per turn on the upkeep. Okay. So the first of our newer, anyway, fast battleships. At 19 knots, they should be able to close pretty effectively with most anything else that he's got out there. Our 105s are capable of 2 inches of penetration if they can hit it. I mean, 0.8% accuracy is kind of a joke. Maybe I should stick with singles. It's at 5,000 meters. Well, at 1 kilometer, you're getting within torpedo boat range, so that's really what those are there for, is to discourage torpedo boats. So 10 to 11, 9 basically 10 to 11, and then these guys are 15%. Okay. Well, there we go. That's what we've got. That's what we'll stick with for now. We'll see how she works. Or maybe, man, it kind of sucks. Anyway, yeah, let's work with that. Okay. Like I said, we've got a little bit of a cushion as far as the fleet is concerned. So we've got a little bit of a cushion. The funding, sorry, the funding and everything. Okay. Jesus, it's another 10 million per ship, though. course, it's another 4,000. It's another 4,000 tons. So anyway, hmm, 3 months. Maybe I should have waited 3 months for the Mark IIs. Not really. Okay, where are all of our ships? The Zoxans are in Emden. The Kaiser Wilhelms are in Kiel. These guys are going to take how many months to build? What was the build time on that? 15 months. Oh, that's just an extra month. That's not hateful. All right, so let's go ahead and build one, see where we're at. Ouch, that hurts. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and launch them in Hamburg. And the Zoxans, we'll go ahead and refit 2 of these. They take 3 months. And what's our money at? -6 million a turn. Okay, as long as we're not over now, I mean, even if I was at -10, it would still be 170 turns at that rate. Okay, so we've got our 2 old heavy cruisers moving. 2 of them anyway. This other fleet, I don't know. I might. I might send them out to Lorengau. It's going to depend. Do I want to go ahead? You know what? Next turn we'll ship them out, and the Kaiser Wilhelms, the Kaiser Wilhelm II, this task force I can move up into Le Havre, put them on the front line for now. Or do I leave them? Do I leave them back in Kiel to kind of protect the? Well, anyway. Once the refit, the shipyard expansion is done, that's going to save quite a bit of money too. Actually, I could cancel that now, but like I said, I made enough money off of that war with France that We can engage in a little bit of a little bit of deficit spending. Um, Spread misinformation that it was a spy of another country. So anyway, a spy scandal has broken out. One of our spies has been arrested in the United States, and the government asks for your advice on how to deal with the situation. Oh Jesus. I mean, we got the naval prestige to spare the unrest. Let's just go this route. We're gonna keep the United States over there. I'd kind of like to see if they get big enough to become a challenge down the road. The British, if I leave them unchecked, that's gonna become really bad. All right. So what do we got? We got 2 more months on that. Okay. Oh, I built a couple destroyers for Sweden, huh? I'm gonna go ahead and build some more destroyers. We'll launch them in Palau for now. That way they're kind of backing away from everything. Okay, so 2 months on the refit. I'm gonna build set another battleship and refit the other two. Okay, let's go ahead and hit that next turn. Natural oil has been discovered in the Philippines, the East Philippines specifically. Sweden wants to order 2 of the S1 class torpedo boat. Yeah, I can build torpedo boats for them. Okay. Armor quality. Ooh, we're coming up on the Harvey armor soon. Capital ship towers and then small guns. So the 6-inch Mark IIs are coming up very soon. We got Mark II torpedo launchers coming up, and soon to have 17-inch torpedoes. Well, maybe not soon. It's 2 years away still. Boilers, advanced small funnels #2. That might prove to be really interesting for the destroyer class ships. Couple that with the 17-inch torpedoes, and I might be building a new destroyer platform. All right. Got 2 months on the refit. Okay, so let's go ahead and move it along. I don't know if I want to provoke anything with Britain until I've got at least 2 of those new battleships. That way I can have 3 full task forces here in the North Sea, and then I'll have 2, or I have 1 full one and then a partial over here in East Asia, and that will deal with the potential Japanese problem. Up and then big guns. The Mark II 11-inch guns are coming in soon. So what do I want to do with the Mark II 11s? Hmm. They're going to reload faster. They're going to be better protected. The Zoxans have 11-inch guns. Would it be beneficial to refit them one more time? They've got 4-inch, they've got 88s, and then they've got 4 of these 5.9s, and maybe, wait a second. What's going on here? Okay, that's right. Okay, so we got the Zoxan 2s. Ship design, we're going to build another Zeringen. And where are we launching him? In Hamburg. And then the Zoxan 2s, we're going to go ahead and refit the other 2 Zoxans. And we're at negative 10 million. That's about my cap right now. Speaking of which, let's see here. We've got a couple of these destroyers in Helgoland. Let's go ahead and move you guys to Hamburg so that you're ready to join the fleet. The Undyne, the Dessau, that does remind me, fleet. And what I like to do, especially in peacetime, is just go ahead and take everything and put them under sea control. Or no, sorry, in being. Sea control would make it ridiculously expensive. And for what? He's heading to Douala. He's heading to Douala. Let me see here. The Blücher. He's got cadets. Tell you what. Change of plans. We're going to relocate you guys to Loam. The heavy cruisers really... The heavy cruisers really are, especially early game, they're kind of tough to build. Okay, we got 3 months on the advanced small funnels. We got 7 months on the Mark II 11-inch guns. Capital ship towers in 6 months, and the Harvey armor coming out in another 2 years. All right, let's go to next turn. See what happens next. This, this era really was something something quite fascinating. I mean, it's just the sheer level of technological development that happened in a very, very short span of time. And I mean, even okay, 1898. You're approaching February 1898. That was when the Spanish-American War happened. The USS Maine mysteriously blows up in Havana Harbor. Um, you know, by it was just a short 5 years later they were experimenting with aircraft, taking them off of ships, and then it was another short 20 years later where aircraft carriers had become a thing. And then a short 20 years after that, they became the dominant force in the sea. Yes, by the time World War II started, the battleship was actually obsolete, which I understand why they would choose to leave aircraft carriers out of this because, uh, or did they? No, they did. They did. Um, unless that's changed in the updates and I've just neglected the update information and stuff like that. Uh, oh, I misjudged it by 1 month. Anyway, you see what happened? 9 million less on the construction efforts. We can go hog wild on those ships now. I think when the last two come up, I'm gonna go ahead and put two of them and finish the set, as it were. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hull strengthening, we don't know what's going to come up with that yet, but we are in December of 1897. We got 4 months on those destroyers. 2 more months on those refits. And then I'll build the last two of the Zeringens. And the Wittelsbachs, do I want to keep them here for now, or do I want to send them over to Asia? Let's get the two Zoxons. Let's get those refit. So 2 more months, and I'll start working them over there. And then what? And then what? So this is the question, and it is. You do want to consider this very, very carefully when to poke the bear. Oh God, we're already at negative 81 with the British anyway. It's not going to take much provocation. We're negative 44 with Japan. We're at negative 50 with the United States. I mean, I'm not going to go invade the United States, but what I would like is enough ship tonnage. Um, I would like enough tonnage. Let me see here. I've got 53,000 tons there. I've got 43,000, almost 44,000 tons there, and I've got another 55,000 tons in Le Havre. The Wittelsbachs were that heavy? Huh. Well, they were. I mean, considering there's three twin turrets on the Wittelsbachs. Um, okay. No, we'll go ahead instead. That's the plan for now. The Center Party won again and retains control of the government. Interesting news, sir. Soviet Union warns their head of admiralty, Lev Panterzhansky. Panterzhansky? I don't know if anybody knows Russian names out there better. Please correct me. For his excessive naval expenditures, he may soon be replaced if he continues to underperform. Sweden wants to order two more of the Nymph-class light cruisers. Yes, 114% overall. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine. We can do that. Ottoman Empire regains full control of Kosovo, And then the Special Army Operations. All right. Got that should be 1 month. It's still a little bit buggy, but that's okay. That's okay. And then we've got 4 months on the destroyers. Actually, five if you consider. No, six if you consider. Okay, we have to commission them, and then they're going to need an immediate refit. Speaking of which, we've got 1 month on the advanced small funnels #2, which will, ooh, what do we got here? Longitudinal strength of hull girder #2, 1898. We're pretty much right on time for that, actually. Longer and stronger hulls. So you've got an increase in hull form stability and resistance while decreasing the weight and engine vibrations. Always nice. Capital ship towers #1 are coming out. And then for our big guns, we've got 5 months on the Mark II 11-inch guns. Okay, so here we are in January of 1898. And our max shipyard size is 23,000 tons. So we can start building some fairly large ships. 23,000 tons. I'm not sure if that's good enough. If it's good enough for dreadnought style ships as of yet. But special machinery. Let me see here. What has been in special machinery? Hydraulic steering gear, lighter reciprocating system, and then the different rudder types. I don't fool around with rudder types too much. You know, unless you're doing like a specialty kind of ship, like you want a battleship that corners really hard. Problem is that the rate of turn at full speed becomes really unmanageable. So I do like the balanced type rudder. I just find it to be the best performing one out of all of them. So let's go to the next turn. Okay, so advanced small funnel design. We got one more month for that. We should be done with the Zoxons. Yes, the Zoxons have successfully completed their refit. Now we're going to go to the Zeringen, and we're going to go ahead and build 2 of those. Another 34th. Yeah, we're well within tolerances, I think. Oh yeah, no, we're at 77,000 tons. We still got another 40,000 tons that we could do without having to worry. So let's launch these both in Hamburg as well. Now, you know, you could go like super historically accurate if you wanted to, and I've done that before. It's actually a lot of fun. Especially with you know, getting into particulars like, okay, do I need to increase the beam or the draft? Do I need to decrease it? You know, what do I need to do with that to get the ship to fit within its specifications? It can prove problematic based on technology levels and things like that, but it is actually quite a bit of fun to fool around with that a little bit. So anyway, all right. Let me see here. So we've got all of our ships building. We've got 9 months, 12 months, 15 months, and then I think it's an extra 2. So 17 months in total before the Zeringens are going to be ready for action. That's 17 months. We'll have new control stations by that point, which might possibly lead to another upgrade for the Zoxans. Maybe also by that point we will have the Mark II 5-inch guns, and we can upgrade and expand those to have dual barrels. Maybe, possibly, we'll have to see. 7,000-ton heavy cruisers are on the horizon. Now, see, if I take that off, then all of those things, instead of hull strengthening being in 2 months, we'll get everything else a little bit quicker. So maybe I'll do that for now. I'll go ahead and take that off. And that way we can sort of spread and get more of what we're looking at quickly. Semi-armor piercing high explosive shells. Or is this semi-armor piercing? Is semi-armor piercing an AP shell that just does a hell of a lot more damage? That's what it is. It's an AP shell that does a lot more, that does more damage. But obviously, indicated by its name, it's not going to penetrate as effectively. Now, I do like the SAP shells. I do like these SAP shells on like destroyers and stuff. They work really, really, really well on destroyers because you're not trying to penetrate anything with the destroyer gun. Now, you can build a gunboat platform. You can make it like a gunboat type of platform and put super penetrating shells on them, and that might be something to do down the road. Make a fast little gunboat that has like really, really penetrating shells and can hurt, I don't know, heavy cruisers, maybe even parts, some of the battleships. I don't know. It might be worth playing around with. Anyway. It is February 1898. Historically, welcome to the Spanish-American War. It didn't last long. The Spanish Navy was severely outdated by that point, and the Spanish Empire was so bloated. So what happened was the United States was able to gain quite a bit of territory, actually, in the Pacific and Caribbean theaters through that. And again, the USS Maine, as they point out in this, actually, the USS Maine was not a battleship. It was actually like it was originally designed as like a protected cruiser, something along those lines, and this is later reclassified as a second-rate battleship or something along those lines. So I don't know. It's you change the name of something to make it sound better. Oh, here is what I wanted to do though. I do want to take this whole fleet and move them over to Tsingtao. Right? How many turns is this going to take? It's going to take 9 turns. All right, so the Wittelsbachs are going to move over here. All right. And then as they approach, I need to remind myself to take the fleet out of Tsingtao and move it into Lorengau or something along those lines. I might move it down here into my colonial holdings in German New Guinea and the Bismarck Archipelago, the Solomon Islands, so on and so forth. Who knows? Maybe it'll allow me to capture some. Maybe I'll be able to capture some territory there in Australia. Though naval invasions are tricky because you need like a minimum of 100,000 tons. So really, that fleet would just be over there to engage any other fleets, like particularly deal with the Japanese, because I don't know what the Japanese are doing right now. They got a battleship, they got a bunch of heavy cruisers. What do the Japanese have, as a matter of fact? They've got 2 battleships, 24 heavy cruisers, 30 light cruisers, and 18 torpedo boats. Yeah, so they've got a little bit of stuff. So I've got an 88 and a 47 currently on my destroyer builds, which incidentally does remind me. Do I want to go ahead and build? I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more. I'm going to go ahead and build 4 more destroyers. And I'm going to launch them, I think, in... do I want to do Herbert or do I want to do Lorengau? Aniaria. Aniaria. We'll go in Aniaria with you guys. In the Solomon Islands. And I'll take these guys from Danzig. And I'll move them into Helgoland. And I've got 2 and I've got 8. With the Dassau, the Princess Wilhelm, the Undine of the Nymph class. And oh my, those guys are veterans. And that, again, you know, we've got another thing coming up. I've got 4,000-ton light cruisers. I could build an updated light cruiser design. But I think I'll leave that for next time. So anyway, we're going to take a little break. All right. And please, just a friendly reminder, you know, hey, mash that thumbs up button. Follow, subscribe. You know, every little bit helps. Please, please, please make your prayers to the algorithm gods. We all pray to the algorithm gods. Every little bit helps. Anyway, thanks for stopping by this time, folks. Until next time, this is Wolf190D signing off.